Ben, how do you describe what healthy masculinity is or femininity is to a child? Or same with gender. What does it mean to be a boy or girl aside from obvious physical differences? Again, when trying to teach children, say in elementary school, here's where I would lean into the most typical behaviors of boys, the most typical behaviors of girls, the most typical sensitivities of boys and of girls, the most typical blind spots of boys and girls. That's where I would do that. All right. I would, yeah, it's not going to be 100%. Okay. It could be a little stereotypical, but if I was raising a boy and he had sisters, I said, now look, boys can be rougher than girls. You got to be careful when you play with your sisters. It's not like maybe he's got, a brother and he's got two sisters. When you're wrestling with your brother, it's one thing. You got to be careful with your sisters. Now, maybe there's a delicate brother and maybe there's a real rough and tumble sister. So there's going to be a little stereotyping that doesn't apply to everyone. But I'd say, what are the normal patterns? Maybe girls are going to be more thoughtful and boys less thoughtful. What are the normal patterns with a man and a woman? The father is going to be more kind of, let's go out and take a risk, and the mother more careful and concerned, and the father, everything's going to be all right, and the mother seeing the need. And just generally speaking, look at male-female behaviors. And without telling your son, now to be a real boy, you got to be rough and tough, and you can never cry, and you can never show your feelings, and you got to beat somebody up if they look funny to you. That's got nothing to do with being a man, all right? It's got nothing to do with being a man. But you may want to tell your son, hey, you gotta watch out for your sisters. You gotta protect them because you're the man. I'm the man of the house here, and I protect mommy and I watch over things and I make sure that everybody's taken care of. Now you need to do that. So you nurture that sense of responsibility in him and strength in him. And with a girl, they've got sensitivities that guys don't have, and they've got ways of seeing the world that guys don't have. And a mom wants to cultivate that. So again, just look at the broad categories and reaffirm those without saying, to be a girl, you got to have the perfect body and perfect hair and this and that, or to be a guy, you got to be this muscle man. No, those are just worldly caricatures. But the fact that there are distinctions between us, I look at scripture and see strengths of women and strengths of men. I'd sit down with a spouse and say, okay, what do I do well as a man, but I don't do well as a man? What do you do well as a woman, but you don't do well as a woman? What are your strengths as a mother, my strength as a father? And let's try to communicate the good things into our kids and warn against the bad things. And do it in general terms that are generally true.